Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is October 18th, and today's episode is a really exciting one because we have some dates and times for things that are going to happen with Saturn 0 and Saturn 1. We're going to be talking about new rETH growth incubator, which I'm extremely excited about. We're going to have some updates about constellation and a whole lot more. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Okay, first things first. So you know that I talked about the timing for Saturn 0 on Rocket Fuel a couple of days ago and how it's going to go through at midnight on UTC on the 28th, which of course is, 10 a.m. on a Monday morning in Australia, the week after this, and Sunday night. So not this Sunday coming, next Sunday, and in the US at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the idea that Langer's presented was, that's when they would do the update, and then they would give the contracts a few hours to the contract changes to a few hours to bed in before they did the parameter changes. And Halulu and I were just talking about why that needed to happen. And, even if they were going to wait a few epochs, it's nothing's going to change after more than 30 minutes, right? So we were just yeah, whatever, the team wants to do that, but it doesn't make sense to us, but good luck, whatever. So anyway, Langers came back into the governance thread today and he said, we've discussed it internally and we will release the parameter changes a few minutes after the hotfix release. We just wanted to verify the hotfix release, which takes a few minutes, and then we can execute the parameter changes. So this is awesome. I'm so excited. Halulu posted it, it's happening, and the GIF meme thing that comes with that. And I said, fucking yes. And I'm like, woohoo. And I'm like, I was on the hype ladder. I'm on the hype ladder every day now. And every day I'm climbing it higher and higher and just getting more and more hyped. But this is really awesome. This is really exciting. So basically, the thing is that, we're setting up a call with ETHstaker, and I want to have a live call where this is happening, on the call, and we're going to see it all take place, in real time. And it's going to open it, of course, up to a whole lot more people. So what I really want to see happen during that call, and I might just do it myself just for the fact that it happened on the call itself, is that I want to see the hotfix go through, which will go through at midnight UTC on the 28th or 7 p.m. Eastern in the US, of course, on the 27th. And then, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, we can chat a little bit about what the parameter changes will do and all that kind of stuff. And then we can make the parameter changes that'll go through. And then while we're still on the call, I want to see those first. The thing that I want to see is a new node operator come online. That would be really exciting. But the new node operator, if you're going to be a new node operator who wants to take advantage of Saturn 0, the time to come online is actually Friday, next a week from now on Friday or on Saturday. And that'll just make sure that, you get all your node up and running, you get your client synced, you get everything set up and ready to go. So when it comes time to, deposit, then you have everything ready and, you don't have to set up a node from scratch at that point. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I want to see a new node start validators right away, ideally during the call. I want to see existing node operators adding ETH to their validators. That would be really cool. And I also want to see, I also would like to see bond reductions happen. So 16 ETH going down to 8s. So if that happens during the call, if those three things happen during the call, I'll be so excited. And I really want to see that happening right away. I've been talking for a couple of days now about how, we might empty out the deposit pool within a couple of days. And Halulu actually crunched the numbers and he said that for us to empty out the deposit pool in 2 days, we would need a new validator coming online every 3 minutes, which when you put it like that is really ambitious. So maybe it won't happen that way, but I'm excited. So we got this timeline and it's a good timeline, and I'm really happy that, things have worked out this way, because I feel like, we would have had the hype of the call, and during the call, we would have talked about all this stuff, but then it would have been, the call would have finished, and then a few hours later, the parameter change would have happened, and Europe would have all been asleep, and the US would have been getting ready for bed, and there just would be no one there to kind of celebrate with it. And then now what's actually happening though is I think the visuals, the optics of it, I think will be a lot better and a lot stronger. So I'm really glad that, the case was made with the team and people were convinced that this is the way to do it. So that's all talking about Saturn 0. Now we've got news about Saturn 1, which is incredibly exciting. But I'll have to admit, slightly disappointing, but still overall incredibly exciting. And here Langos says, hey everyone, the core protocol team has been head down on Saturn 1, making some good progress. We've broken down the work and have an indicative timeline to share. And then there's a link to the forum. It says, as we begin this journey, the core team have a great deal of confidence in delivering Saturn and looking forward to bringing it to life. Rocket Pool. So let's have a look at what Langer says. So he says, hey everyone, we've been hard at work with Saturn 1 and we're making good progress. We're excited to share our indicative timeline with you, which includes the usual software delivery caveats. It's an estimate rather than guarantee. Each milestone will be completed as soon as possible without compromising on quality. And then it says, let's actually have a look at what it says. So here, actually, you can't see all of it on the screen, but that's okay. It says on January 2025, we will get DevNet 1, which will have deposit process. So that will have Megapool delegate, Megapool upgrade process, deploying Megapools, depositing validators, assigning ETH from the deposit pool, stake validators, standard queue and express queue, and express ticket allocation. Then we have in March 2025, we'll have DevNet 2, and this is the ETH rewards distributions and penalties. So ETH rewards distribution, ETH capital distribution, claiming funds, commission controller, and security council adder, over bonded credit, and ODAO penalization of stake with guardrail. In April 2025, we will have RPLs. This is DevNet 3. So this will have RPL staking, rewards, and voter share. So we'll get staking RPL, unstaking RPL, RPL rewards calculation, RPL vote power calculation, and voter share distribution. In May 2025, we'll have distributed solo and guardrails, so node distributor user fund unbundling, protocol upgrade guardrails, solo validators to megapools, balance submission guardrails. In June 2025, you can't see this on the screen, so I'm just going to read it out like I've been reading out all of them. So this is June 2025, audit and beta testing, security audits, bug bounty updates, staging releases, and final beta testing. And then July 2025, here we will have the mainnet launch, and the ODAO upgrade governance and celebrations and much joy. So this timeline, when you write it down like that, it kind of makes sense. I was hoping that it would be a little bit earlier. I think recently I've kind of been working with the date of June 1st in my mind for Saturn 1. And I guess I'm going to have to change that to be July 31st. Yeah, July 31st. I think that's the date that I'll start working with in my mind. However, as always, there's the chance of there being delays. There's the chance of things not happening on time. And however, talking to Langers and the way Langers has been talking about it, things are going better than expected. And, maybe we'll be surprised to the upside and, we'll get it earlier than July 2025. However, I think that date in my mind now, July 31st, 2025, that is when I'm thinking of Saturn 1 going live on Rocket Pool, and much joy and celebrations will be had. So this is actually really awesome. I'm really proud of the team kind of working on this and making progress on this. And I think it's going to be amazing for the community and the protocol as a whole. However, this does shift the timeline then for Saturn 2. So if Saturn 1 comes in July 2025, there's a chance that Saturn 2 won't be until, the summer 2026. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But overall, we have this roadmap now. Hopefully, we can stick with it. It's a very, very big hope that, we can outperform this, but there's a chance that, we'll underperform this and Saturn 1 will be delayed from July 2025. I was joking in trading today that I've always been really bad with my timelines, and I should start saying that things are going to be way, way later than what we get told they are going to be. I understand the concept of Hofstadter's law, but I have refused to internalize it when it comes to rocket pool upgrades. So hopefully, that will at least match that timeline. But hey, maybe we'll get surprised positively, but let's see what happens. Thanks, Langers, for that update. Okay, next we've got something that I'm incredibly excited about, and I'm so excited about this. I was actually going to make it the #1 story of today, but I kind of decided against that because timelines are always fun to talk about. So this is a new incubator in the Rocket Pool community. So for those of you who don't know, the Saturn 1 upgrade actually emerged out of the tokenomics incubator. So we had a rapid research incubator. Now, what this meant was there was a system set up in place where people could submit ideas and they would get rewarded for those ideas. They'd get paid money, basically, thousands of dollars. And then there'd be other people in the community who would be involved in reviewing those ideas, and they'd get paid money too. So there was no need, for anyone to work for free with this. But the tokenomics rapid research incubator was actually a huge success. So I and others have had this idea a few months ago, that rETH, Rocket Pool protocol is very soon going to be rETH constrained, massively rETH constrained. And I know that, part of me saying that is kind of like a hype boy, but also if you look at it, like, Rocket Pool has thousands of 16 ETH validators in the protocol right now, and there will be zero reason for people to stay on 16 ETH validators going into Saturn 0. Your rewards, even if things go wrong and you only get the contract rewards, you will still be above the 14% that you get from the protocol. You'd get 15%, from the contract. And of course, that's the worst case scenario for some reason. However, the general case is that you'll get 30% commission overall, compared to the 14% commission that you get now. So moving to LEB8s, of course, is the way to do it. But that means that, with those thousands of 16 ETH validators, they're going to empty out the deposit pool. Someone worked it out that it would take, if everyone that was on the 16 ETH validator moved over to LEB8s, they would fill out the deposit pool 7 times over, which is, over 100,000 rETH. Now, when you consider that in the whole protocol is around 500,000 rETH over the course of 3 years, you can very quickly understand that there's going to be a lot of scope for rETH minting happening with Saturn 0. With Saturn 1, that's going to go even more because we'll have LEB4s. So overnight, we're going to more than double the capacity for rETH. And then with Saturn 2, of course, we're going to go down to LEB 1.5s, which is just going to be an astronomical gain in rETH capacity. So what I've been telling people is that, my perspective is that with Saturn 0, there's a small chance that the deposit pool will never be full ever again. With Saturn 1, there's a good chance that the deposit pool will never be full ever again. And with Saturn 2, there is almost certainty that the deposit pool will never be full ever again. And of course, there's a caveat there in that if we change the parameters in the universal adjustable revenue split, at that point we might make, being a node operator, being a rETH minter more attractive, in which case the deposit pool might get full that way. But with the current parameters, the way things are, there's a real chance that there's a certainty that with Saturn 2, we'll have more rETH capacity than we can handle. So the idea of this incubator came about. The rETH growth incubator is that we want the best community ideas on how to get more people minting rETH, and we want them to share those ideas so we as a community can then turn those into proposals. We can turn them into bounties. We can turn them into incentives and votes and RPIPs and all that kind of stuff and get it going. So let's have a look through the incubator and see what it says. So Shifrin says, the launch of NodeSet along with future upgrades through Saturn 0, 1 and 2 will address the node operator demand issue that's been limiting Rocket Pool's scalability. With the independent unlocking of rETH supply, the DAO's priority should now shift towards strategizing ways to scale rETH demand to optimize Rocket Pool's growth and efficiency. So this is the original rapid research incubator initiated by Epinef, was highly successful, leading to tokenomics overhaul that laid the foundation for Rocket Pool's next evolution, the Saturn upgrades. This initiative seeks to replicate that success by generating actionable ideas for the GMC to rapidly increase rETH demand. This effort is part of the broader initiative called Operation rETH. Following the review of the submissions, the GMC will approve several tasks, which will then be converted into bounties. A board will be created to track the progress of these tasks. The Discord channel can be found here, and there's a link. You must be part of the GMC server to view it. Reach out to a GMC member for an invite. So here are the instructions. We're asking community community members to present ideas of how we can get more rETH out into the world. And suggested length is, between half a page up to 3 pages on any topic that you think will help rETH grow. And the brief should include both perceived benefits and suspected drawbacks or downsides, further research data ideas needed, specific actionable recommendations, and general implementation ideas. It says the brief does not have to be polished, a complete data analysis, or specific code. It will not be judged on English proficiency, grammar, etc. So we just want your best ideas, basically, and not shit posting, basically, but with good ideas. So it says the brief should be single work that you can link to rather than referring to a series of posts or threads. A single individual can submit multiple works. It can be posted as a single Discord post or forum post, a GitHub submission, an uploaded document, or any other form that can be easily viewed. I think most people actually just replying to this forum post, which I think is the best way to do it because it's got everything in one place, but that's just my idea. And then the deadline is November 8th. So, we've just got over 2 weeks to do this. The scoring criteria will be across different scales on a scale of 1 to 5 in the categories of utility, innovativeness, and simplicity of execution. And individual ratings in these categories will be summed up to determine the overall score. So then there's information about the different categories and what they'll be looking for. So then there's compensation. So, people will get paid for this, right? So there's going to be different tiers of compensation, and depending on where you rank with your scale, then you'll get a score, and the scores will be as follows. So there's going to be 2 tier 1 prizes for first and second place, and those people will get $2,000 each. For tier 2, this is third place to fifth place. They will get $1,000 each. For tier 3, that is 6th place all the way through to 20th place. They will get $250 each. So if you have an idea, and if you can write a few paragraphs about it, you would get $250 for that. So the return on investment for writing down your idea is absolutely huge. And of course, the better your idea is, the more likely it is to win one of the bigger prizes. However, if your submission lacked clarity or detail, then it'll be ineligible. It says in the event of a tie, the ranked choice voting will be used, and $10,000 is set aside for prizes to these prizes. So there is real money here that the GMC is paying for, and it's going to be really, really great. So definitely, I recommend that you do this. I recommend that you put ideas forward. Now, we already started getting ideas. So here there is one from Ken. He said incentivize rETH holders with RPL rewards. So basically, if people hold rETH for a certain amount of time, you can boost their rewards by giving them some RPL. You can read the idea in more detail on the forum. The link, of course, is in the description. Then there's targeted rETH LST advertising campaign. So do a partner with platforms like Bankless, Blockworks, CoinDesk, and others. Then the referral program, establish a referral system where minting rETH via wallet providers such as Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask, Ledger, etc., or an on-ramp service to receive RPL rewards for holding the rETH for a specific duration, e.g. 6 months or more. And then liquidity mining for rETH in DeFi protocols. So it says cycle the rETH liquidity mining program funded by the IMC to new DeFi protocols, like, for example, Uniswap Curve Balancer, to receive additional RPL rewards. It's likely that existing LP providers will not farm their rewards entirely, and some percentage of the existing LPs will remain in existing protocols. And then Destroyer had some ideas as well. It said implement batching of L2 transactions to mint rETH on the L1, and reach out to guilds in eFrontier to diversify their treasuries into rETH. And that is there's a game that you can basically do. Here, Kevster says gamble your staking gains away. Recommendation, create a vault where people can deposit rETH. Each deposit gives the user a raffle ticket according to how much rETH they deposited, e.g. 0.1 rETH is 1 ticket. Each week a ticket is randomly drawn. The winner gets a yield from all the rETH in the vault. Users have to be in the vault for the full duration of the cycle. The vault could also be some liquidity pool like PoolTogether model, etc. Then Hackworth says, I'm a bit of a DeFi dummy. I don't fully understand all the tokenomics, but he's got a couple of proposals as well, saying allow rETH holders to escrow time lock their rETH and set aside a portion of the PDAO revenue to provide RPL rewards, etc. And then got more as well, like fraxifying things and adding more information. So there's ideas are coming through, and like I said, there's really good money on the line here, and I think that like most people, I think what ended up happening with the rapid research incubator is everyone who submitted an idea got money. So that was really nice. So definitely submit your ideas, and we want to hear them. We're going to take them really seriously, and we want Rocket Pool to grow. And in the next phase of Rocket Pool's growth is going to happen by massively incentivizing rETH, which is what we want to do here. Now, with the growth incubator, not only do we need ideas, but we also need people to review those ideas. And we're going to follow the process basically of the first rapid research incubator, and we will basically mark against those different attributes, and then we will have what we will rank those votes and figure out which ones are the best ones and which ones are not as good. Each reviewer will get $1,000, and it'll be on average that the person will spend about 10 hours doing the work. So it's a casual $100 an hour, which is pretty amazing. So eligibility is based on feedback from the community. The GMC members are not excluded from volunteering to review or for submitting ideas. No one is eligible to submit ideas and review unless they remove themselves from payment consideration. During the rapid research program, both Langus and Kane volunteered. The GMC welcomes the team's involvement in this again if they're available. To apply to this post, leave a brief summary why you're qualified. So I said that I'd love to see Long for Wisdom, Samus, rETH, Val, Noshua, Epineph, and Nick S and others volunteer. So Val here is volunteering, says, I'm usually on the idea side, but I figured this would be a good one to try the other side. I might still toss out payment ineligible ideas, or perhaps really undeveloped ones for others to run with. I think I'd be a good reviewer because I spent far much time in the Rocket Pool land. I've been on the IMC since inception, so probably have some relevant insight into spending to incentivize behavior too. I'm fairly technical, so I can add some of that perspective as well. So I think that is awesome. Val is one of the people that I would love to see on this review board, and I think the Val's going to add a lot of really great insight because of the experiences that he's had in the Rocket Pool community, but also with the IMC. So awesome. This is something, if you can't tell, I'm really excited about, and it's something that I've been asking for a long time, and I'm really happy that we are now taking this seriously and working towards it. So that's awesome. Okay, let's talk about Constellation for a second. So here we have Joe, and he is, I think, just going to come into the Rocket Pool community to give a daily update of where things stand with Constellation and how things are looking. So at the earlier on today, about 11 hours ago, he had a status time post, and it says that the Constellation ETH pool has 95 ETH in there, so there was enough to spin up 10 validators, and the RPL pool had 81,455 RPL. So Marceau moved over more RPL for that. And then there was information about how much is staked. So 74,000 RPL has already been staked, and there's 66 active mini pools, and some are pre-launch and some are already staking. So 7 pre-launch and 59 staking. So that was really awesome to see. So thanks, Joe, for sharing those stats. I hope you keep sharing them every day. I really love those, looking at those numbers going up. And then in the Rocket Pool community, we are actually building out some of the bots that we have to add more information about Constellation. So here we have Halululo saying, does anyone have any suggestions of what to add for this Constellation stats bot? But actually, let's just have a look because he updated it. So let's see what information we're getting. So earlier on today, so this was 2.5 hours ago from when I'm recording, there were 69 mini pools that were active on Constellation. So he said nice, but it tells you that the average bond is 20%, and they have 552 ETH staked, 77,000 RPL staked, and they have the balance is there as well, and it tells you how much there is available to set up new validators. So they have enough to set up 8 new milli pools when this was checked, and it tells you about the current gas price as well. So at that point it was 20.7 Gwei, and the break-even amount is 7 months. So then people can kind of figure out if that's what they want to do or not want to do. And here as well, there's protocol TVL. So it tells you that the TVL in XRETH is 623 XRETH and or ETH, sorry. And for XRPL, they have 156,000 basically RPL. So Lulu said when 420 pools, and I replied by saying I think it will be by the end of this weekend. That might have been a bit ambitious unless they can get more of their node operators they've already approved come online and they increase their parameters to like 4 validators each and get a big influx of XRETH. But hopefully within the next few days they'll be at those kind of numbers, which will be really, really great to see. So I'm really looking forward to this output from Rocket Watch coming online. It'll just be /constellation, which will give you that information when it's live. And I think that it's all done on Hululu's side. It just needs Invis to merge the gate pull request or whatever it is, merge the work to make it work, to make it come up onto Rocket Watch. But that is really awesome. Great job, Constellation team, and great job Hululu for working on that. We also had another update, and this one was from Ramana's LSD price output, and this is now showing the price of XRETH and what it's looking like. So he actually says that the price of this is unknown at the moment because there's no secondary markets as far as I know for XRETH, but it's now being included, and I guess the oracles are set up. So, well, not the oracles, but the data scraping is set up for checking the price of XRETH, with the contract address on the secondary market. So once it's out there, then you can start checking it using the LSD price output. Okay, next we are going to cover this Blockworks report about staking. So I covered this report, when it was being researched, I mentioned it on Rocket Fuel, but it was limited at the time. But sadly, I've not actually been able to read the report yet. But so I can't give you a full update on what's actually included. I know that Rocket Pool is mentioned a whole lot of times, but there's supposedly some really good information in here. So if you are interested in finding out what Blockworks think is the current staking landscape, definitely go and check out this report. I'm probably going to dig into it over the weekend and try to get an idea of what's included in here and what it's looking like. But there's a whole section on liquid staking protocols, and this is where they mention the different LSTs, and I think there's mentions of Rocket Pool in there. But like I said, I haven't been able to read the report yet, haven't had time, but I thought I'd cover it for you all so you can actually go and read it yourselves, and I'll, like I said, be reading over the weekend as well. So this is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, next I'm going to cover some old news that was kind of brought up to the surface again in the community yesterday and got some response. So I thought it's worth bringing up here. So there was a wrapped rETH token that was integrated with PoolTogether, and this token was hacked, and there was a loss of funds for PoolTogether for this. So somebody says the only affected PoolTogether vault was the Rocket Pool prize wrapped rETH vault. The exploit occurred in the underlying wrapped rETH asset and not due to the fault in the PoolTogether code base or security. Steps have been taken to mitigate exposure by preventing new deposits to the affected vault in Cabana and PoolTogether interfaces. So there was a contract here that wrapped rETH contract, and there was issues, and then there was exploit that happened there basically where on Optimism, and what happened is Rocket Pool recently developed a wrapped rETH token for Optimism for the purpose of providing a rebasing version of the rETH token by keeping rETH as a collateral and minting a rebasing wrapped rETH. So it's actually the opposite of wrapped STETH, which becomes a value accrual token, but here a wrapped rETH was actually like STETH rebasing token. So it says it could be redeemed at any point for rETH at the current exchange rate. It says immediately after deployment and first deposit, an exploiter found the bug in the burn tokens and burn functions that allowed them to withdraw the entire rETH collateral without needing to burn any wrapped rETH tokens at all. The exploiter proceeded to drain the contract of any new deposits over the next 5 days. So the drain transactions order events can be seen here. So you can see that there was a bunch drained, and then the response was that they shut down the pools, and a depositor noticed that they couldn't withdraw the price, and pool time immediately acted and passed this info on to G9 Software, who found the cause of the issue and initiated communication with the Rocket Pool team and PoolTogether community members. Both PoolTogether and Cabana immediately pushed updates to user interfaces to prevent further deposits to the prize wrapped ETH vault and PoolTogether, and initiated communications to affected depositors. So a total amount of 4.9 rETH, which is about $18,000, was stolen, and they were from the 9 depositors, sadly, who did that. So this came up in the community, and people were just like, "Did you know about this? Did you know about this?" And everyone was like, "I didn't know about this." And then, there was a little bit of a back and forth about like what we did or didn't know, or how this token came about, and what they meant by the Rocket Pool team did this, like what's happening there. So Langas actually came into trading earlier today, and he actually kind of explained what happened. So he says, it wasn't that the PoolTogether claimed this. This was actually what happened. It says, we were involved, unfortunately. He says, we worked with PoolTogether on a vault wrapper a while ago. In retrospect, it was a mistake to take it on, but it had the opportunity to open up many more integrations, and at the time seemed simple. We got it ordered by Signal Prime and deployed it for PoolTogether on Optimism. Sadly, it had a bug and it was compromised. It was solely being used by PoolTogether, so they contained and communicated the issue. We've since resolved the issue and had it re-audited. We didn't raise it here because it was contained by PoolTogether, but it's important that I make clear our involvement. It hit PoolTogether hard, and we deeply regret it. So that was a real shame. It's a shame that it happened. I guess the bug got found so quickly, but one of the positives, I guess, if you can say a positive, is that this is actually really interesting technology in that you can wrap the rETH into making it a rebasing token, and what happened with a lot of DeFi places was that people realized that stETH was a really great token, right? Like the attributes of it were really strong. So DeFi platforms wanted to integrate it, but because it was rebasing, they had to do, I think, some technical stuff to make it all work together. And some of the protocols said, hey, just use a wrapped stETH, and that becomes a value accrual token, kind of like rETH is. But others were like, no, we'll just use stETH, and we'll figure out ways of integrating the rebasing part of it. So those protocols that did that, they might be like, hey, if rETH has a rebasing version, we could integrate that too. And I think that was kind of the idea that the team had, was like, we could use PoolTogether as a kind of test protocol, I guess, and then if that worked out well, then we could expand the idea further. But of course, I think it failed. But I guess the technology still exists, so it might be worth throwing something about that into the rapid research incubator and seeing how it lands. Okay, we got a post in trading yesterday where people started welcoming back Thomas G to the Rocket Pool server. I don't think Thomas has actually said anything in the server since he left, but he is now back in the server. And actually, no, he's now gone again, I think. So, yeah, Thomas was back. I'm not sure why he came back, but people were just kind of waving and saying, "Hi, Thomas, welcome back." And he had joined a couple of days ago. It was kind of on the down low, I think. Maybe he was just trying to get some information or something that was in the server. But he came back. I don't think he said anything, and then I think he left again. So it was nice to have him back very briefly, and hopefully when he comes back next time, he will hang around for a bit longer. Okay, let's move on to some staking news. And here we have an update from Dimi, who of course you all know now is the lead of Lido Finance's community staking module, their CSM. And he says, are you ready to join CSM mainnet next Friday? So, of course, today is Friday the 18th, and next Friday will be Friday the 25th. So, it seems like they're doing a soft announcement of CSM launch for next Friday. They couldn't help themselves, I guess, get in before Saturn Zero, and that's fine, like good for them. But Saturn Zero, of course, is coming on the 27th, so they want to give themselves a good 48 to 48 to like 60 hours head start, which is totally fine. They've been working on this for over a year, so congratulations on getting it to launch, Demi and the team. But I think Jasper put out a really good message a couple of days ago on Twitter saying that if it wasn't for CSM, like a lot of the positive things that have happened in the Rocket Pool community over the last year, with the work going into the tokenomics and reimagining what the protocol might look like and how it might go forward, a lot of that happened on the back of the very first like research posts about CSM coming out and the idea of that going ahead. And it's really funny that a year later, Rocket Pool's like the first part of Rocket Pool's response to CSM, and CSM itself in the early adopter, permissioned whitelist way, are going live within 2 days of each other. So congratulations to Demi and the team there. And honestly, if it wasn't for CSM, I don't know like what the path Rocket Pool would have taken, but here we are. And let's see who gets more adoption in the first couple of days. Of course, they are limited to I think 4,000 node operator ETH or something along those kind of lines, so it's not that big, but of course it has the potential to grow into a much bigger chunk of Lido's TVL. Okay, let's move on to some more discussion in the Rocket Pool community about CSM. So one of the things Jasper shared this morning was that he said, did you all know that if you get zero, that you will get zero rewards in CSM if you drop below 95% effectiveness? So effectiveness, I think they're going to be using the rated.network measurement, their RAVA score, of seeing how effective people's staking ability is. And if you then go down below 95%, you won't get any rewards. So Jasper thought that was hilarious, but it's just another thing to kind of bring attention. And then he was pulling out things from the documentation showing how that is set up and how it all works. So what will happen basically is that you would still get rewards on your deposit, which is for whatever the amounts that you deposit, you'll still get STETH rewards for that, which is 0.9 times solo staking instead of 2.37 times solo staking, which of course is the reward that you really want to be getting in CSM. But that's definitely something to pay attention to. Okay, and finally we're going to finish with some Ethereum staking. Some more staking news, because we've got some more after this as well, actually. So here we have EigenLayer, and they are saying that the EigenLayer Twitter account has been compromised. Do not interact with links or messages from the account until further notice. Stay safe and secure. So EigenLayer, one of the biggest protocols by TVL in Ethereum, I think second only to Lido, or maybe they were first for a while even. They have their Twitter account compromised. There was an airdrop scam that was being sent around there. The text was saying things like, we are recalculating our season 2 and check your eligibility, blah, 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 sign the transaction, get drained. It seems like a few people were caught by this, sadly. So that's a real shame. But they put out messaging quite strongly across like different social media networks that, hey, this is a scam, their Twitter is compromised, so please be careful. But one of the things I want to bring to attention is that the Rocket Pool Twitter account was compromised and we still haven't regained full control over it. But this is something that's happening way too often for someone to say that this is these protocols getting hacked. Like, I have to be really careful with how I word this, but it seems like there's a problem on the Twitter side rather than a problem on the OPSEC side, the operational security side for these different protocols. And all I know, the closest one I know, of course, is the Rocket Pool community, where they've said that the keys were like strong keys, they were managed really well, and they were not, willy-nilly like just put out there, but then they have no idea how it was compromised. Well, it looks like a lot of other protocols that are in crypto have been compromised in the same way. So the only thing in common for all of these compromised protocols is Twitter. So yeah, I think that people need to be paying much closer attention to the things you come across on Twitter, and everything has to be verified, especially if you're going to connect your wallet. Please be careful. And then here there's an article from the block as well talking about the fake airdrop basically and trying to scam people, if you want to read that for some more information. Okay, and finally, I'm going to end today's episode with this update from ETH which is an operating system based on Ethereum, kind of like a phone system. And they are introducing the DGen 1, which is the first on-chain everyday carry. So they have created a device, and here we can have a look at the post about it, where you can get some information. And they're saying meet the DGen 1. It's an on-chain EDC, and they've got a launch video, and you can let me actually turn that sound off. Yeah, it doesn't actually tell you all that much, but what I want to really see is like pictures of the device. But this is what it looks like. It looks kind of like a handheld phone, and it's got some information at the bottom. People who use it think it's really cool. I'm going to probably get one. But yeah, you can buy it. I think the cost is 0.2 ETH. Or 61,269 DGen tokens, and the contract is on base. You can buy it with crypto, or you can use a credit card, which is pretty awesome. It's going to be released in spring 2025. They might go the same Solana phone route, where they put a bunch of meme coins on there, like kind of throw them on there for free. So if they do that, then hold on to those, because some of them might pump bigly. But you can buy multiple amounts, actually I think you can buy as many as you want, pretty much. They're 0.2 ETH each, so they're about $500, $600. It's quite expensive, but it looks kind of cool, and like I said, I might grab one. So I'll let you all know how it is after I get it. Maybe I'll do an unboxing or something. But on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you all have a lovely weekend ahead. And I hope you're all joining me on that hype ladder and climbing a rung every day. So there's a whole lot to be excited about. I think, NodeSet's Constellation is having a really great launch, and it's really exciting to see that growing. And Saturn Zero, I think, is just going to melt all of our faces. So this is a really, really great period, and I'm so excited. So I'll see you all on Monday. Bye.